Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the How to Choose Happiness and Freedom Show. I'm your host, Lauren Foster, happiness teacher and founder of Be Happy First. And I am continuing on my quest to have all of my sister authors in the Art and Truth of Transformation for Women book. That's a mouthful on my show. And today I am absolutely thrilled to have with me Cindy Lybbert. Cindy is an energy healer and master Psych-K facilitator. That's spelled Psychk. And I can't wait to learn more about that and to get to know Cindy better. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. So
Yay.
tell us who you are, where you came from, what is your story, and how did you get to where you are today and master all of this long list of healing modalities?
Certainly, thank you. Boy, you wouldn't know me if you knew me in the past. I'm a totally different person, but I am a country girl. Yay for the country. I grew up with 7 sisters and 1 brother. When I started first grade, we moved to Washington from Pocatello, Idaho. We moved to Washington. My father bought 10 acres, a farm. So we had all the animals, most of it. Well, no, I'd say about less than half of it was up with fruit trees. And so we spent the next years planting fruit trees. My father had horses, and we had the rabbits and chickens and cats and a dog. And so we had to take care of the animals as well as the fruit. My father didn't hire anybody because my mother and my sisters and my brother did the picking. So when I was 6 years old, the summer after, right before or after first grade, he handed me a bucket and said, "This is how you pick cherries. Take the stem and pull up. No leaves, bird-pecked ones, no bad ones." So we were sorting as well as we picked. So it was difficult, should I say, summer, because that was our childhood. We was working and picking fruit all day long. And at the time we picked in boxes. And then at the end of the day, we loaded the boxes on the wagon. Then my father and my brother put them on the truck and he took them to the warehouse. He let the grass in the orchards grow very tall because he cut it down. And then we had to rake it. And in the evening, there was changing sprinklers. So there's always work. And so I learned to be a very efficient, hard worker. But when summertime came, it's like it was kind of depressing for me because it's like, oh man, so much work to do. And so I thought I'm going to have to change it up a little bit to get through this and survive it. So I told myself I'm going to be the fastest cherry picker in the family. And, it didn't dawn on me. My family's probably saying, yeah, because the more you pick, the less we have to pick. I just wanted to get through the day, but it made me happy. I was the fastest, got the most boxes, and that made me happy and get through the day. And I remember as a child, I'd be sitting on the steps, resting, and it just made my day when I would find and spot a caterpillar. Little things like this just brings a smile to a child. And I would pick them up and let them walk around on my hand or my arm. And it just amazed me. I would just watch them and think, how can they transform into a butterfly? The beautiful butterfly, beautiful colors. And sometimes, I don't know why, but my eye would catch a butterfly and I would just watch it. I was just in awe with these little creatures. So little things like this made my day. And then school would start. It's like, oh, I would enjoy the first couple of days, but back in those days, it just seemed boring.
Right.
And then I had to deal with, bullying. My first grade teacher was a bully, so it just turned me off of school. It's just like, well, many people can relate, okay, to not being able to have a fun childhood or going to school and being bullied. So I had to find things that would resonate with me and make me happy. I just love the title of your show, Be Happy First. And laughter is the best medicine. So I dealt with a child growing up with abuse, and I shut down because I felt it was safer to not be seen and not be heard. And I had the parents that children should not be heard. Well, I was a child that should not be heard or seen. and and so I grew up quiet and shy, and I never found my voice either until later in life when I went to college, and it was like a whole different life. I was making friends, and it was a lot of fun, and I was coming out of my shell. So, a long story short, I married and had two little children. I married at age 26. My children, I didn't have my son until I was 32, I believe, not of my choice. But I first wanted a dozen children, but I'm happy to say I was very blessed. At least I was blessed with two children. Okay. So after 10 years, marriage, my husband wanted a divorce, wanted a different road in life, and dealing with a narcissist and abuse anyway. It was like, okay, so anything to protect myself and my children. And so I became a single parent with two little children at age 3. My son and was about 5 years old. And then I moved from Utah to Washington. Excuse me. And then I had to learn how to be both parents, father and mother. And it was stressful at the time. And I used to be a graphics and commercial artist. I put myself through college cleaning homes. And I loved the work. I did everything by hand, pen and ink. But when my son was born, I quit working. And that's when they transitioned into computers. So later down the road, nobody would hire me because I didn't have computer skills. But I couldn't afford to go back to school. So I got a part-time job at Walmart and decided to try and pick up some classes as I went into child elementary. And one of the classes that I took happened to be stress management. And it was at a time when my elderly mother moved in with me also, and she was nearly blind and had to be taken care of. So I was juggling different things that were going on in my life. So one of the classes I decided to take was stress management. And she asked us to do a report. And I thought, what am I going to do it on? Well, laughter would be fun. So I did the report on laughter and looked into it, and just amazing stuff. I was finding good stuff. I mean, this was a lot of fun and it was making me laugh. Well, I got an A on it. So my teacher must have enjoyed it also.
Right.
And my counselor called me one day from college and said, I need to talk to you. So I went in and talked to her, and she didn't want to give me the credit that goes toward child development or child education. And I said, what? I said, really? I mean, don't you think that teachers who have to deal with 20 to 30 children a day would benefit from a stress management class? And I had to laugh. And so she got the point, and I got credit for it.
Okay.
So, um, so moving forward, I came to a point, I was age
So
45. My mother,
did you stay on the path towards child education and become a
I did not.
okay, got it.
I no, I ran out of money, and I should have, and I could have, but we should never shit on ourselves. So
Right.
I'll take that back. I just, um, I actually, I wasn't where I was working. They'd cut my hours down, and I couldn't survive on less than 20 hours a week. So I said, fine. So I decided to, because I have experience in house cleaning, I opened my own business and started cleaning houses again, which was perfect because I was making more money, and I could drop my children off at school. I went and cleaned 2 homes. I picked them up, and then I went home. And I couldn't afford a babysitter, so
Right.
it
So
worked out
now,
perfectly.
by this point, you're in your 40s. Is this is that right? Is this time in
Yes,
your life you're in your 40s? Okay.
yes.
See,
Mhm.
I'm loving that this whole story, and that when you first started talking about being a little girl, I thought, oh, what an amazing way to grow up. But really, all year long you were in school that you despised, and then when you were supposed to get to have fun, you had to work. So
Yes.
it, but I loved that you were able, even as a small child, to find things that fascinated you and that made you happy, like the caterpillar and the butterfly, and you carry that into your work. I've seen that quoted on your website that I think it's, if nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies. Is that the quote?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is awesome and amazing. And your winding path and the repeat of,
Challenges.
yeah, being in an abusive marriage, that's kind of a reflection on how you were raised, and not being able to be yourself, not being honored and respected and taken care of. So continue on. What happened
Yes.
next?
Okay. Well, at age 45, I took a big turnaround about my own healing journey. And I heard Spirit say, it's time to heal. And I had no idea what that meant. So rather than asking, what does that mean? Or what do I have to do? I just kind of shrugged it off. Oh, okay.
Okay,
But
let's back up a step though. How did you learn how to listen to the voice of spirit?
oh, okay, good question. Thank you. When I was a child, again, my old two sisters had married and out of the house at age 18 and 19. So my oldest sister would take us younger kids to church. My parents were inactive. So she took us to the church, and this was my escape from everything. Okay. I just loved it. A lot of times didn't know what they're talking about. I didn't know how to sing songs, but I'd listen. But it was a wonderful spirit just to feel, just to feel. And I don't know if I was maybe 7 years old. I remember taking a break. Everybody else must have been outside because I was alone in the house, sitting in the chair, just sitting there and feeling just defeated. And then I heard God's voice say, talk to me in my mind that everything will be okay and that he loved me. I can't remember the exact words, but I will never, ever to this day, even at my age now, never forget the feeling that I had. So I knew God existed, and I learned how to pray, but I didn't know it was a gift to be able to hear Spirit's voice, all of our clairs, to be able to feel. I've had experience with all of them, but I didn't know that that was a gift.
Mhm.
So if I heard a voice, sometimes like, who is that? What are you talking about? I didn't understand it until later in my life. It's like, oh, okay, now I get it. So
Right.
I just, and I grew up not trusting adults. So the only one I knew that truly, really loved me and could understand me and that I could trust was God.
Okay. All right.
So
Beautiful
once it,
explanation. Yeah. So, I mean, I believe that everyone can hear the voice of God, but not all of us know that we can. And so we don't, if you don't know there's music, how do you know to listen? So, um,
correct, yes,
okay. So
still voice.
yeah.
Some people can hear their angels speaking.
Mhm.
And so once again, when I heard the voice, I thought, oh, okay, well, it played out. My son was probably 11 or 12 at the time, and he had a phobia of spiders. And I thought, okay, this is not good. I cannot have kids teasing him because he's afraid of spiders. So I knew a lady, was a good counselor, and took him in to um, help him get rid of this phobia. And after session two, it did, it really helped him. So he wasn't afraid of spiders anymore.
Mhm.
But the first session I took him into, I was sitting out in the waiting room, and she came out to talk to me, and she said, well, your son says you're angry and crying all the time. It's like, oh, I felt so bad because I didn't want my children to remember me as being angry all the time.
Mhm.
I didn't know, but I guess at the time I was, because I was going through some feelings and emotions I didn't understand, and I'd find myself crying. I didn't know why. And so she asked me a little bit about my life, and I told her, and I says, well, because you've been through some trauma and a divorce, you're dealing with PTSD, and I would like to see you too. I said, okay. So she helped me get through the rough spot, which is really, really good. And then I understand this is what God was talking about. It was time to heal. And I was having flashbacks of things I'd forgotten. And she was helping me through the process. And about after 6 months, I thought I was at a place that I was feeling really good, but I knew and felt there was something else. There was something else. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And at the time, I was also dealing with some health issues, and I didn't know it was related to stress at the time. Stress can really play havoc on your body, you know? And so I went to 3 different doctors, and at the time, I didn't have any health insurance. So they wouldn't really do anything for me except give me an antidepressant and send me home. So it's like, okay, well, I learned I cannot take medication because I have all the side effects. So I thought, this is not going to work. And I'm praying and say, there's got to be something else or I'm going to die. I don't know what else to do. And then a friend handed me a flyer one time, said, you might be interested in this. And I looked at it, and it was from the Academy of Healing Arts. And you learn about Reiki and massage and therapeutic touch and reflexology. It's like, oh yeah, this is what I need. And it was perfect because I was starting to heal from the inside out. You know, therapy and counselors have their place. They're very, very good. But unless they understand energy work also and learn and know how to release the trauma that's stored in our nervous system and our subconscious, you're not going to heal from the inside out. Well, I started healing from the inside out like I wanted to. So I became certified in these areas.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, is if you were in training for that. So yeah, okay, cool.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And then again, I knew there was something else, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Well, one day my allergies flared up and they were really bad. And I was visiting my girlfriend. She said, oh, you should go see so-and-so. She does Psych, and I don't have allergies anymore. She helped me with mine. I said, really? I said, I'll try anything. I'm desperate. I've tried everything. It never worked. Sure enough, I went about every time I left, I felt better. And about the third session, they were completely gone.
Wow.
So um, and then I kind of put that to the side because I were making other transitions in my life where my children were now 18 and didn't know me. And I had remarried my ex, which isn't always the wisest decision I made in my life, but we make choices and decisions, but we were once again married for 10 years and he's ready to move on, and we divorced again. My children were 18 and didn't need me anymore. So it's like, it was devastating. And so I was just working and getting things back together. And a year or two down the road again, I met a good man and remarried. And it's like my allergies flared up again. And it's like, oh, what am I going to do? I heard that voice again, getting back into Psych. So, oh, okay. So I Googled who I could go see that would give me sessions. And I found the instructor here in Oregon, and she was giving workshops. It's like, perfect. So I took the workshops, I became certified. Mostly I did it for my healing and to help family members who were dealing with different health issues. And after I became certified, I heard that voice again that said, now take it to the world. It's like, no, I don't know how to do that. And now I have this little fight going on with spirit. No, I can't do this. Yes, you can. No, I'm too quiet. I'm shy. You can do this. You're certified now. It's like, no, I don't want to do this. And then I heard a little reprimand. And you think you're the only one that deserving of healing? It's like, got me there. So I said, okay. So I've been working on, got my website and spoke on a couple of summits, and now I'm helping people all over the world.
And you're an international best-selling author in the art of
Thank you.
transformation for women.
Yes.
Be sure to give yourself credit for that.
Yes.
Yeah. So Cindy is now providing healing in a cajillion different modalities and helping with life coaching and with financial wealth mindset and all kinds of different things. So what we're going to talk about today, though, are the things that I'm curious about. And so let's just start with the Psych. What exactly does a master Psych facilitator do? And to explain to me what it is first.
Certainly. Psych is a process that changes your subconscious beliefs that are limiting and self-sabotaging. And we grow up with beliefs that I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, or I'm ugly, or we've been told as children, you'll never amount to anything, or, limiting beliefs like this. Everything, or if we see something negative on television, or that's scary, or that could scare us as children, these are all stored in our subconscious. And so when we're in adult life and we don't feel good enough and we try everything and nothing's working, it's because sometimes on a conscious level we'll remember, but there's subconscious beliefs that we forget, but they're still stored in there, and they're going to treat us the same way that we believe as we were a child, that we were not good enough. So Psych-K is a modality that has different balances, and there are instructors. So I have to say I'm not an instructor, so I'm not teaching anything about Psych-K, but I know you need to know the benefits and a little bit about what it does. So we change subconscious blocks. So I take affirmations and turn them into belief statements where that limited belief is totally gone and you have a new belief stored in there. So it opens doors to more health, better prosperity, better relationships, better self-esteem and empowerment. And it helps you through grief and loss. I've lost two sisters who have passed now, one to MS and one to cancer. And grief, we can feel our feelings is okay, but there comes to a point where we need to transition out of that and move on so it doesn't keep us stuck. And our subconscious limiting beliefs can do that.
Yeah, that's fascinating, and that's so very much what we're teaching here, and that reminds me of the work of John Assaraf and the neurogym and neuro reprogramming and all of the things that he's doing, and it is so very very true. We're operating according to our belief system, whether it's right or wrong, and I never thought of that as manifesting as allergies though, and I have some
Yes.
people very near and dear to me that suffer terribly from allergies. And so that's very useful information for me. That's
Yes. Well, I didn't know, but I learned that we could have allergies to a person, place, or thing. So with Psych-K, we use muscle testing
Mhm.
and find out exactly what it is that is causing the allergies and do balances for that. And again, it's like taking the affirmation and turning it into belief statements. And we also work with goals. If so, I'm actually communicating with the other person's higher self and their subconscious and asking through muscle testing. Well, we don't ask the subconscious questions because it doesn't know how to respond. We put them in a form of statement. And through the muscle testing, because the subconscious will let us know where that person needs to heal, whether it's with relationships or with money or personal power.
Trauma, yeah, whatever it is. Is there a hypnosis element to that?
No
No.
hypnosis in any of this or any of the modalities that I use.
Okay, fascinating. So, wherever you're watching this video or listening to the podcast, whatever, if you just look below, we'll have the show notes that will let you know how to spell things and how to find Cindy and find out more about all the things that we're going to talk about, anything that we mentioned today. So, just look below for the show notes. Okay, so I'm looking at a list of all of Cindy's modalities because I'm so very, very interested in all of them. The first one is divine channeled prayer. And I'm also very, very interested in actually studying and trying to learn how to be a channeler right now. So that, of course, is very interesting to me.
Certainly. Well, that goes along with the process that I learned with clearing and balancing the chakras. So energy scan technique, a practitioner. And so when I focus in on the person that I'm working with, I go through each of their chakras and ask where the block or the pain or the struggle is. And I'll take little notes on each of the chakras, their energy centers on our body. And then I will ask spirit, once I'm tuned in, where it needs to be cleared and how, or what better thing can they have or receive to turn them around to help them. And I'll take notes of doing that. And either I will receive an image or words, pictures. Things may not always make sense to me, but they will the person I'm talking to. Or if I want more clarity, I'll ask for more clarity so I'll get the information I need. So once I have all of this and discussing it with, like if I was to give you an energy scan and talk about it, And then the notes, the good points that I wrote down, I will use those in a form of a divine prayer that will help clear those blocks and the pains and the struggles. So the energy is open, the chakras are open. So I'm communicating and asking divine or God for assistance also. He's the one that's always doing the healing with all of these modalities. I'm just a facilitator. So it's very important to me to stay humble and stay in tune what the other person needs to hear.
Okay, so the chakra scan healing and the divine channel prayer kind of work together.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. 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 Okay. So the word quantum always fascinates me. I saw on Facebook today, I was planning to take my kids to Quantum Leap. And all I thought of was the TV show with gorgeous Scott Bakula. I'm like, oh, the
Yes.
Quantum Leap actually turns out to be a trampoline park. So
Oh,
that didn't really give me any great information. But what exactly is meant by quantum energy from Cindy's point of view?
well, it's like Reiki. It's just the quantum energy is just worldwide, very open to everything. It's a safe and beautiful energy that helps me tune in to once again with God. So with the quantum energy, once I connect with God, and it's meditation and breath work also. So then I can, when I'm talking to a person who wants to do the quantum energy healing, I tune into what they're feeling and ask God, where is the highest priority pain point that we need to focus on? And then words or sentences or thoughts that come to me, I will relate to the person, and I tell them they're free to talk to me. Anything that comes to their mind, something will come up. So it verifies what I'm feeling and sensing in my mind. And I'm talking and sharing with them what I'm feeling. And so it helps them open the communication better. Okay. And so then I can focus them and direct them in their healing and simply tell them to release that, take an in breath and allow that to be released. And then we just continue on. And when I feel like a great love, then I tell them it's safe to feel and be loved and to download the feeling of being loved. So it's a great way to communicate and just again feel spirit and what needs to be directed.
So you are a conduit to spirit for those who can't reach that on their own.
Yes, that's
So
a good
what
way of putting it. I never
what
thought of
does
it
the
that way,
word
but
quantum actually mean? I mean, I literally feel like I should be Googling it and saying, what's
oh
the
yeah.
definition of quantum?
Well, I should Google that too because I've never really taken the time to look that word up. So I'm sorry, I can't tell
Yeah,
you other
no,
than
that's
it's just
okay. So I will look it up
opens the
before we post
door.
this. Yeah, to me, I don't know. It feels like it should mean infinite, my everywhere, something. I don't know. But again, look in the
Yeah,
show notes. I will look it up and I'll write the definition of quantum in the show
thank
notes.
you. Well, I think it's all of those words that you just said.
Yeah, I think so too. But we're going to make sure we're not going to take
Yes,
the word for
let's do that.
it. All right. Okay. The other very, very fascinating modality is called Imbraining.
Yes.
What in the world is that? And where do
Okay,
I get some?
sure. Well, we're aligning our three brains. Okay, we have our brain, our heart, and our gut. So we're aligning these for greater wisdom and decision making. So because sometimes you hear the phrase follow your heart, or well, what's your gut telling you?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and our brain. So these are our three brains. So when a person wants a session using the MBIT, we go into a discussion, and I take notes again because we're asking, as we're going through a meditation process, we're asking the heart a question, lining it up with the gut, and then bringing that energy back up to the heart, and then we bring that energy up and asking the brain questions, and we really are getting answers to a person's question, bringing the energy of the brain back down to the heart. So we're balancing and bringing it all three together.
I love that.
Okay. and then setting goals. And it's really a beautiful process.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. And now that you say it, it makes perfect sense that how better to be in alignment that your mind and your heart and your gut are all in agreement.
Yes.
And instead of making decisions exclusively from your brain or flying by the seat of your pants and going exclusively from your gut.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love that. And Imbraining, using your multiple brains to do cool stuff. That so
Yes.
you definitely want to go to healunafraid.com and check out all of the great information and stuff that's on Cindy's website. It's fabulous. Okay,
Yes.
so what is something that without coming to see you or coming to see me or even leaving the house, something that our listeners can do right now that will help them shift into that happy place, that place of choosing happiness and laughter and fun and freedom.
Oh, certainly. Practice smiling,
Yeah.
practice laughing. When I when I was older, I remember laughing, but I didn't laugh out loud. It was a quiet laugh,
Mhm.
and I didn't realize that until I started listening. Well, people voice laughter's coming out of the mouth, so I
Right.
actually had to force myself to laugh. So if we force ourselves to smile and to laugh, then it becomes habit, and we can get into the energy and start laughing and smiling. You want to do things that have fun entertainment that brings you joy and makes you laugh. Give yourself permission to laugh and treat yourself to some flowers. Laughter really is the best medicine.
Yeah.
And Emerson once said, the earth laughs in flowers. And journaling. I would like everybody to start a new journal, get a notebook, paper, and have fun designing the cover. Things, photographs, family members, or your pets that make you smile and laugh. And title it My Happy Place. So when you're feeling depressed, go to your journal, go to your book and look at those things. There's also music that can put you in the mood. Now, who cannot dance and smile and laugh to um, the song I Feel Good by James Brown or the Bee Gees?
Right.
If you're having trouble laughing and smile, you come see me.
I love this. This is in the Happy and Free on Purpose book and in all of my teachings, we have something called the magic orchid. And this is one thought that you choose every day that you write in your journal that is guaranteed to make you smile and guaranteed to make you laugh. And that you can, if you're losing control of your mood or feel your day's getting away from you, you can always conjure that thought back up and make yourself laugh and smile. And so
Yes.
I love this is such an amazing episode. I'm loving it so very much. And here's Romeo again. Um, so I just thought of something else that I wanted to say. Oh, there's ow, 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 ow.
There are also some wonderful TV shows. So I grew up with Lucille Ball, Carol
Okay,
Burnett, Red
right?
Skelton, Laughing. Find
Comedy.
those shows on YouTube or your television and
Yeah,
watch
and
those.
laugh. And
Comedy.
and this is truly scientific. You can look at the evidence that your brain doesn't know whether you're smiling because there's really
Mhm.
something to smile about or you're just
Doesn't know if you're faking it. Yeah.
yeah, so that all of the good feeling chemicals are released in your brain, your serotonin, your dopamine, and a
Yes.
fake smile will become real very quickly because
Yes.
it just feels awesome and amazing. So I love it
Mhm.
very, very much.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, I didn't exactly note what time we started, but I think that we're in a good place. Was there anything else that you wanted to add to anything that you're promoting, any free gifts, any um,
Oh,
projects you're working
yes.
on, things
Thank
like
you.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, on my website, I do have some free music and meditations, and I have lowered my price for this month. If anybody wants a session, um, let's see. And I have a Facebook group that's also titled Heal Unafraid. It's a private group. And I'm going to start doing some free calls every other month, every week, which is going to be like a healing session with me, a group one.
Mhm.
So that will be wonderful. Might as well take advantage. It's going to be free for a while. And I will be posting on my Facebook group and on my website when this is available. And I have a YouTube channel and lots of stuff going on. So stay
Okay.
with me.
Awesome. Yeah, we will provide links to all of that. And just for reference, this is being broadcast in February of 2021. So if you're watching it next year or the next, then these things might not still apply as far as prices and free things, but I'm sure she'll have something else for free that's available at
Oh,
that time.
definitely.
Whenever. Everything in
Mhm.
perfect time, right?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for being with me, Cindy.
Thank you. Had a lovely time. Thank
Yeah.
you,
Oh,
everyone.
oh, and
Mhm.
everybody, you can also, do you have the transformation book for sale on your website?
I do.
Okay,
Yes,
so
you
I
can find
don't.
it
I
there.
keep meaning to put it up there for sale, and the technology always gets me distracted, and so it doesn't get done. So, but you can also
Yeah.
look on Cindy's website for The Art and Truth of Transformation for Women, which is the book that we wrote together with
Mhm.
18 other beautiful, amazing authors, and you'll find so many uplifting stories of transformation in that book that will hopefully help you to begin to transform your own life and begin to be happy and free on purpose every single day. All righty. So we're going to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Cindy.
Bye.
And I'm going to see all of you back here next week when my guest is Moira and Mark, who are the authors of a really great book that's being published by Powerful You Publishing. And we're going to learn all kinds of great things from them too. So in the meantime, remember that happiness is a choice and you can always choose to be happy first. I'll see you next week.